Mark, first and foremost, a few days on from the Southend game, reflecting on the performance, first of all, how proud were you of what the boys managed to achieve?
Players were outstanding with the obstacles we had in the week leading up to it. Obviously, the suspensions, injuries, the illness. We were crippled with illness, really. We had some boys played that ran 12.5k. Just shows their commitment to the group, and it was like Ward 10 in the hotel. But no, we got through it in an amazing performance at a really hostile place, and a team that's fancied to be up and around it.
Did Plant mean it? Was it a cross or was it a shot?
No,
has he admitted it yet?
Definite cross. Isn't it? It's a great cross, but listen, sometimes when you earn that bit of luck, and we performed really well. We could have been better in the last third of the pitch, but in terms of dominating the ball, we were really good.
I know afterwards you should have been probably got a very happy character picking up 3 points away at Southend is a good 3 points to get, but I know that you were slightly annoyed at several things that had happened during the game, more off the pitch. Can you elaborate now on what they were?
Dear. One of our players was accused of making an inappropriate comment which would have carried a minimum 8-game ban. If it had been founded or substantiated, he was then consequently booked. We had 4 players booked that none of them were bookings. There was a red card, 2 red cards for them. Afterwards, the Southend player, admitted that he'd lied and made the comment up to get our player sent off. Which is sad, really. And obviously their goalkeeper gets his red card rescinded. Our player is still serves his yellow card. And the player that made the allegation, unless we go to the FA, will get away with making up that comment. But we wouldn't go to the FA because we've got better character than that. We wouldn't go. We're more of the belief that what happens on the pitch stays on the pitch.
So from your perspective, this is something that you want to just let it go and move on?
No, we're not like that. We've got proper characters. But if our player had have got sent off for the incident, he would have had the red card rescinded. That's how mad it is. But their goalkeeper gets a red card for a blatant handball, and they get that rescinded somehow. But we can build a multi-million-pound training centre at St George's Park. We can build Wembley Stadium. We can put a man on the moon, but we can't rescind a yellow card for something that somebody didn't do, which for me is, I suppose it's just the state of the game now.
I was going to ask you about the yellow card situation anyway, because obviously you had some suspensions last time out with Morgan Williams and Jarvis being out. Obviously Charlie's going to miss this Saturday. Aside from that yellow card, are you frustrated by the amount of yellows that people are picking up this season, or is it just part and parcel of the game on the whole?
If I showed you the 4 yellow cards that we got on Saturday, you'd be scratching your head as if to say, it's just contact. It's just Jake Wannell got a yellow card for their player putting his hand in Jake's chest, falling over. We got a free kick against us and a yellow card for Jake Wannell. Finn Dawson got booked for winning the ball on the halfway line, got a yellow card. Alex Whittle got booked for we still don't know what. Now, we won the game. I'm not crying because we lost. We won the game. So I'm just speaking about the good of the game. And to get from August to November, what date's the York game?
23rd.
To get to the 23rd of November, which will mean we'll have played 20 games.
Fair enough, yeah.
Plus trophy, FA Cup. To be able to only have 5 yellows before you get suspended is impossible if you are a combative player. And for me, it seems like that they don't want any contact or any emotion or any passion in the game. And that goes to the touchline as well.
So you would say the bar is too low at the moment for where you could pick up a yellow card?
If you're going to front load the games at the start of the season, then you have to move the threshold higher. You've got to be more. You got to move the date back back. Where you got to make the bookings more, 8 bookings or whatever, that before you get a suspension, because it's impossible because there's that many games.
Moving on to this weekend, in terms of the squad itself, obviously you've got a couple of players returning from suspension. Charlie's going to be out. The injury list, obviously, Matt Worthington, and you had Michael Smith out as well. Are they both still going to be unavailable? I'm guessing Matt is. Have you got any update on how he's doing at the moment?
Yeah, Matt Worthington's back training. Michael Smith's been back for a week, or for this week. He's had a couple of good training sessions, so he'll be available. So it's just Matt now, it's just Matt Worthington. We've still had 1 or 2 off for a couple of days this week with the bug. Simsy's been ill. He was ill at the weekend, really, on the coach, really. So we've had some, still got that illness in the camp, but we're hopeful that we're getting to the back end of that now.
I'd say, are you quite relieved that Matt's injury wasn't worse than it was? Because I think a lot of fans would have been panicking when seeing the initial pictures of him on and around the pitch after the game. Yeah,
it was they're quite painful. You know, there's get a lot of swelling when you rip those ankle ligaments. I think he's had a previous one there as well, but he's fine. He's back on the grass today, so he won't be long.
You optimistic he'll be back in December then?
Yeah, we don't think he'll be that long now. He's a naturally really fit lad, so it won't be that long.
Let's talk about Halifax, just below you in the table. Do you see this as a game of being 2 teams who very much believe that they deserve a playoff spot this season at least?
No, I just see it as another game. You know, mate, it's just, I think when you first come into the league, you look at, right, we've got to get enough points to try and make sure we're still in it, and has to be our first aim. So we got 28 points, I think. So I think we need another 6 wins to make sure more or less we're still in it, and then we'll go from there.
They look like a unit who, they don't score many goals, but they do not concede many at the other end. Defensively, how impressed have you been by them this season? Yeah,
Chris has done a great job there. They like to sign young, hungry players, try and work with them, coach them, make them better. And when, you know, if they leave Halifax, they're better players. And they're really energetic. And we know it's going to be a really tough game. I think 2 teams that are defensively sound. I think we've got we've got the most clean sheets in the league. So yeah, hoping it'll be a good game.
When you know that it's going to be a team which potentially is going to have quite a low block and look to hit on the counter, tactically, do you have to think more about the offensive side and less of what they'll do defensively?
I'm not sure they will. I think they'll come and have a go. I think they're quite front foot. They've got real pace. Got Andrew Olawabari, who was with us, who's an absolute flying machine. They've got some good players. Billy Walters, who's a top player for the level. So yeah, I think they'll come and have a go at us. They're front, like I say, they're front foot. But we have to concentrate what we do. We're playing some really good football at the moment. We're quite dominant, and like I always say, we fully respect the opposition and we do our homework, but we have to concentrate on what we think we can do really well.
And I wanted to ask 2 quick questions away from the game. Firstly, on Josh Hours, obviously he had an incident at the Taunton game last weekend. He's still in hospital now. I'm guessing everyone here at the club is thinking of him.
Of course, yeah. A lot of our boys have reached out to him, so he's a tough character, Josh, and I'm sure that he'll be back on the pitch soon, hopefully.
And this Saturday is obviously the club's first chance to mark armistice and to pay tribute to those who lost their lives serving the country. When you have that 2-minute silence, who do you think of personally?
I think of those people that fought, you know, and I look at the country now and it disappoints me a little bit. I've been reading today that some school kids are getting detentions for wearing poppies, which frightens the life out of me. And I just think about those guys, girls, whoever that fought so hard for us to have freedom of speech and to live in such a brilliant country.
Well, good luck for Saturday and hope all goes well.
Thank you very much.
Mark, just a comment on Pedro Borges' debut. He came quite high on the supporters' ranking, sort of came close to getting man of the match from their opinion. How impressed were you with his performance?
Didn't surprise me, but I was impressed. He's 6'1". He is very athletic, and he showed his ability with the football. He fitted into that position, not his natural position, but he fitted into that position really, really well, I felt. And listen, we've known Pedro for a while because he's with his history of Yeovil, so really pleased with his first game, and hope that continues.
And Jack mentioned about how solid Halifax are as a side. It was revealed this week that Yeovil had conceded the third least goals this season so far. But
who's above us?
Oh, you're testing me now. York, someone else.
I think that might be.
Yeah. But I mean, the versatility of the back line, you had such a solid back four that was fairly consistent last season. This season hasn't quite been the same, but are you impressed with how those that have come in sort of to fill in have performed?
Yeah, and we do a lot of work with how we play. We don't just turn up and play like that. That's how we train to be good with the ball, to be organised behind it. And the boys that have played in that back line, Whittle, Smith, Wannell, Bernard, Finn Cousin-Dawson, Williams, they've all shown their capabilities.
And mentioning Halifax as well, they played in the week in the National League Cup. Did you have sort of an eye on that as well? Or sort of, I don't know whether did they adjust much, or have you managed to have a look at what they did against Middlesbrough?
Yeah, we've seen the game. Yeah, they had a lot of chances. Played against a good team. Middlesbrough were really good on the night. They've got the capability to flip between a back three and a back four. They've changed the last two games to a back three. They changed against York to a back three, conceded 2 late goals, set pieces. So yeah, we're not quite sure what they'll do, but we're ready. We'll be ready whatever it is.
Finally, from me, as you're 7 unbeaten now, coming against 8th in the league at Hewish Park, how important is it that the home crowd get right behind you this weekend? As
always, I think we've earned, or the players have earned that bit of backing now. The fans. I mean, it's clear for you to see when you come to Hewish Park, if the crowd are at it, it makes hell of a difference, doesn't it? It makes hell of a difference to the players. And for me as a supporter, if I know that if I'm fully behind the team and that those players are going to play better, it makes complete sense for 90 minutes to get behind them players and try and cheer us on to another result.
Well, best of luck for the weekend, Mark.
Thank you.